What is up, everybody? I'm NoLuxGiven, back with some more Dupery, and in the previous video, we completed the demo. Turns out that was a lie, but we can now play with quirk challenges when we attempt some cases here. Still don't know exactly what that means, but the dev told me to just play, and it might seem normal at first, but then eventually things will get quirky. So let's speed through the first case and pick an easy one, and that way we can get to some quirks a little bit faster here in the video. This one has a poisoner and potentially 2 new roles for me. We hadn't unlocked all of the roles yet in the completion of our first case. Here we have 2 new meddlers. I do think the surgeon, I do think I've seen this one. On the 12th hour, I might kill an innocent role if possible, and the youngster reduces your reputation by twice as much as normal, but it doesn't look like it disguises itself in any way, so shouldn't be too difficult. All right, here is a tailor. Maybe just something is a youngster in addition to being whatever else it is. We just have like a young vigilante or a young skeptic. Reporter 4 steps away from closest evil. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's possible, but it's also possible that this is evil or that this reporter has been tainted by the poisoner. Clock tower rings at 4 hours. Surgeon has been found, so no need to worry about a youngster. Wait, no, we have both meddlers. Okay, we have both a surgeon and a youngster. I think that means both of these are good, unless we find a second one of them in a double claim. That's possible. Clock tower has already rung. Now, here's what's tricky. We're about to flip something over, and then the surgeon will strike, because it takes 2 hours to investigate, so we're going to lose somebody here. Let's see what we find. We find that the tailor is dead, but I don't hate it. Sorry, Taylor, but it now means that this is not a poisoner. I was potentially worried that both of these two were going to have bunk information and we wouldn't be able to sort which was the poisoner and which wasn't. I will say, actually, wait, no, this clockmaker looks bad. So maybe these two are the bad information and the reporter is 4 steps away from the poisoner in seat 1. This is real info, and this clockmaker has been poisonered. I heard that there's a strange guy in town with 3 neighbors. I think that that's wrong. So can I not use this ability now? Yeah, what does it mean that somebody's dead? I mean, I guess it just means that I can't use their ability, so I should have used the tailor, but I do believe that this gossip is our poisoner here regardless, and maybe now we'll get a little bit quirky. Should I speed through them still on easy mode until it's time to get quirky? Sure. This will keep the video length down a little bit as well, as we're probably going to do a full case run. Here we have a scoundrel and a mobster and a copycat. So a few double claims, and the scoundrel cannot die or be arrested unless they are the last evil. 1 evil client. The therapist talks about adjacent, not surrounding. So these 2 are in a double claim. And one thing that I wanted to try out here is that we now have this. We can now lay string down. And also, I had never really used this before, but we can pin stuff down as well, and we can say that, like, yeah, we think somebody's the copycat or something potentially. I don't know how to pick this pin up. Oh, nice. Oh, can I just move it around? Oh, cool. So one thing that you could do is like make a bunch of pins at the start and then move those where you see fit to help you solve some things. That's cool. I haven't really used the tools too much. And then one other thing here is we have the scissors, and we can snip that, and that keeps the pin there. Okay, very cool. How do I drop off these scissors? Let's drop off these pins here as well. This is actually the exact amount of pins that we need. So we will try to place those in town eventually. I heard that there's a strange guy in town that has 2 neighbors. And neighbors are surrounding, I believe. If we take a look at the gossip, yes, surrounding neighbors. A little bit different. Here we have the scoundrel face up. I cannot die or be arrested unless I am the last evil. I think a commenter actually brought this up one time, that the scoundrel doesn't necessarily have to disguise themselves. We just got into some weird situations where the scoundrels have been disguised up until this point. All right, cool. Good. Here we go. Here is our first, I want to say our first counterclaim with the mobster and the copycat potentially, but I think that this therapist has to be right because the therapist only talks about adjacent, and they do have one evil client. So let's mark these down. Also, this gossip sees that this scoundrel has 2 neighbors, meaning this gossip is also good. The clockmaker says the clock tower will strike after we've flipped over everything. 7 is an underling, seems reasonable, and yeah. Okay, so one of these 2 therapists is our copycat. The therapist seeing 4 evil clients is obviously our mobster. And then our scoundrel is our scoundrel. And the clock tower is a ringing, but we've already solved it. All right, I think we can step it up a little bit now. Let's go to normal and let's see if we get any type of... Okay, no quirks. No quirks just yet. This time we have 2 underlings and then either a youngster or a copycat. Should not be incredibly difficult. 6 is good, you say. And 6 is the tailor. Doppelganger. Oh, this is new. Ability. Pick a role with an ability. If the selected role is lying or tainted, I announce something does not make sense. Otherwise, I pretend to be their appearance. Interesting. A tailor. So this could be our mobster or our copycat pair. We also have a mailman. We've got the clock tower ringing at 10 hours. The reporter lives in town. I've never heard of the skeptic. There's the reporter saying 1 away from the closest evil. I'll tell you what I'm thinking, though. I am thinking that this could be tainted. And this reporter could be our poisoner. That's at least my hunch right now. Ooh, a second reporter. This reporter is also only pointing at this reporter. Interesting. And then a youngster. So the youngster is probably the youngster. And the only double claim that we have here has to mean that one of these 2 reporters is the mobster. If this reporter's the mobster, this one's good. If this reporter's the mobster, this one's good. And this one's good. But the thing is, if this reporter is good, and this reporter... Or sorry, if this reporter is good, then they're saying... Either way, they're saying the reporter lives in town and that they've never heard of the skeptic, but the skeptic is simply saying that the tailor is good, and the tailor would have to be good unless the tailor is actually corrupted. And you know what? Maybe we mark it like this. But then why is this mailman saying that they've never heard of the skeptic? Oh, there's a pair of tailors. Oh, there is a pair of tailors. Oh, I totally missed that. Okay, well now I'm thinking that this is the poisoner and this has been corrupted. With 2 double claims and a youngster, we have to have an evil team between the reporters, the tailors, and the youngster. Now, this did solve it, though, in the same way, right? No, because then the skeptic actually is in the town, so this is wrong information for no reason. So I'm back to it being this. The doppelganger has to choose between the two tailors. This tailor, we're going to learn and we're going to say these two are not the same alignment. Now, what does this doppelganger have to say about that? They say that that checks out. What do you think about these two? Are the same alignment? Yeah, I think this is the world. I think this is the poisoner and this is our mobster. Bang on. Let's go for another normal case here. And still no quirks to be found. We do have 2 underlings, 2 of these 4 meddlers, and then a bunch of good guys. A fall guy is our first find. A fall guy is always good. But they are also, like, you can't disguise as a fall guy. Similar to the wretch. Forecast today is 7, 8, 10. So let's maybe pop out the string and say, oops. I gotta cut this. Okay. Yeah, here's where the string gets it. The string is brand new, added to the game, but we're gonna say the string between 7, 8, and 10 is interesting information to consider from this weatherman. And we could do something like this. I mean, I feel like this is usually just going to be quicker to draw, but yeah, we'll start there. I hate this circle that I made. Let me undo that real quick. Yeah, it's fine. We'll keep it like that. All right, let's see what it is. Number 8, the vigilante. I'm curious if the vigilante can shoot the fall guy or not. Consider me as an evil underling. I think the vigilante should work on the fall guy. Okay. We have an evil pretending to be a vigilante. And a vigilante. This could be a copycat. Huh. Oh, one could just be a mobster. I think one's just a mobster. The skeptic lives in town. I've never heard of the wannabe. Okay. 9 is evil. There could be a poisoner around here though too. Heard that a strange guy in town has 5 neighbors. The only one in town that has 5 neighbors is the fall guy, but that actually checks out because the fall guy should be considered evil. So this gossip does have good information. Doppelganger, we can copy a vigilante. Clockmaker. Oh, I don't think that happened. Oh, if that happened, I am mistaken. But I do not believe that that happened. Yeah, it certainly did not happen when they said it did. 8 is evil. But this is wrong. So we could have a wannabe. No, we can't have a wannabe. I've never heard of a wannabe. Yeah, that seems right. We could have a copycat. There are 2 vigilantes and 2 skeptics. I don't believe we can have a youngster. Looks like youngsters face up, and we do indeed have a fall guy. So we've got a fall guy and a copycat. Let's mark that down in our copybooks now. So the copycat can either be one of these skeptics. I don't believe that this mailman is evil, so this seems like weird text. Interesting. This saying that 8 is evil actually checks out a little bit more, but here's what's weird about it. This would be a poisoner. It would have poisoned the weatherman, but the weatherman seems to have bang on information right now. Oh, the clockmaker. The clockmaker. Let's not let them escape us. Okay. This has to be the poisoner and the poisoned. It just has to be. Oh, I thought I was drawing a string. That's fine. We will also grab a tainted marker here. One of these two has to be tainted. Then I don't know why this skeptic is saying that the mailman is evil. Yeah, this is also just wrong. Could this be the poisoner? Ooh, yes. No. We can't have two poisoners. I was thinking this could be the poisoner poisoning the weatherman, and this could be the poisoner poisoning the skeptic. But that gives us way too many poisoners. One thing that I was thinking could be fun is using the vigilantes to kill the fall guy, just to see how that works. And then we could use the doppelgangers to copy the vigilantes. But something else is tripping me up here before we get to that point. It's the fact that we have seemingly 4 pieces of wrong information. 7, 8, 9. Oh, no, we do not. No, we do not. The fall guy is registering as evil to the weatherman. The weatherman has correct info. The skeptic and the clockmaker are evil. I think that was fine. Bang. Okay. We didn't get any sort of confirmation with the vigilante. I guess that's the downside. I kind of wish we had used a vigilante on the fall guy just to see what happened there, but we had 3 vigilantes, and now we are going to finally see some, what are these called? Deviations. They're not called deviations. It was a weird word for it, but there are 3 different, weird things going on with each of these cases, and we get to see them before we select the case. So we can either choose a normal case with bad influence if there are at least 2 meddler roles in play. One meddler role is transformed into not in play underling, and there are 2 meddlers. Adds bad influences. Now, do these stack? Because I've seen some screenshots where there's multiple quirks. That's what they're called. I hope that these quirks go away, but we will see what's happening here. Insider loyalty. You lose 1 more reputation if you arrest a good roll that is not on the edge of the board. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I don't want to arrest goods regardless, so that doesn't seem like a huge deal. That smile. The idol now taints all surrounding neighbors. That is wild. Idol typically, it's like a puka that corrupts the adjacent, which is already a bigger deal in this game because you can have up to 4 adjacent neighbors, but now it can corrupt the surrounding neighbors, which includes the diagonals, meaning it could corrupt up to 8. That is crazy. Let's go for this one because, well, maybe I shouldn't have, because this quirk doesn't really seem to do anything, which is why I clicked it. Like, if I was trying to win, this is like the least impactful quirk because it only quirks me up if I make a mistake. Now, I'm going to try to not make a mistake, but I was already trying to do that, so. Number 4 is the tailor, says the partner. The mailman lives in town. I've never heard of the youngster. Okay, that means we've got a surgeon. Seems reasonable. The therapist says I've got 2 evil clients. Means the therapist is pointing at both the tailor and the mailman, which means it's also pointing at the partner. I don't buy it. I do think that this therapist could be poisoned by a poisoner, and then it can't say 1. There's our youngster. The mailman talking about the youngster might just be wrong. Clock tower strikes. This is specter shrouded, but the priest is good. I honestly think... Oh, wait. No, this is the tailor. This is seeming wrong. This is also seeming wrong. And then we have the vigilante. Oh, I've got one more card as well. The private eye. I got nothing. Because we flipped them over way too late. And yeah, there are no uninvestigated underlings. I don't know if that's because I flipped over the private eye too late, or if it's because I flipped over the underlings too early. It's a little bit tough for me to know at this stage. The something is... I don't know. Not going to be able to make sense of that. Wait. The mailman or something else. Oh, it's a mailman talking about the mailman. Oh, that's corrupted. But this could say, the something lives in town. I've never heard of the something. Okay. So we also have a double claim of mailmen. That's interesting. A double claim of mailman is making me more likely to suspect this one. Can a private eye just lie and say nothing? I'm going to use the vigilante on this mailman. That doesn't give me any information, though. What does this tailor have to say? We don't know, but we do think that this is actually the tailor. Justice came for number 8. Wait, does the vigilante only work if they're evil? Oh, yeah. Okay, so this vigilante's good. This therapist is poisoned, potentially, so we do have to let them off the hook. I probably should have arrested this mailman to find out if this was actually the poisoner. But I'm going to use the tailor to check the two mailmen against each other. They're the same alignment. Yeah, I mean, they're both mailmen. No, this is a real mailman. Talking about the mailman lives in town. I've never heard of the... Could this say therapist? It's one word. And they're truthing. I think they're talking about the therapist. Well, this tailor has to be poisoned by the therapist poisoner. Or the specter. 8 and 3 are the same alignment. Hold on. We got to go back. I tainted number 4. Poisoner can do that? Poisoner taints a surrounding neighbor. Whoa. That's my first time catching that. I thought that this was adjacent this entire game. Okay, Poisoner is a little more powerful than I thought. And I did lose an additional... No, I did not, because the good roll that I arrested was on the edge of the board. Okay, so we skated by. How do we skate onto the next case? There we go. There are a few more quirks here. Temperance. The drunkard cannot pretend to be the wife. Very specific. Your suspect list starts empty. Blind mode. Whoa. The wife becomes evil if the mistress is in play. Okay, that's fun. The drunkard cannot pretend to be the wife. Let's go for this one. This seems reasonable enough here. So this is what I thought. So we do not actually have a wife here, but we do keep stacking on our quirks. Now, part of the reason I went for the easy one here is because this could get us up to full health before our final case. So that seemed like a good strategy to me. We've got a poisoner and a scoundrel, and then 2 of stalker wannabe milkman youngster. There's our milkman, which becomes evil. if we make it to the late game. Scoundrel lives in town. I've never heard of the reporter. Huh. Bloodhound points east towards the Weatherman. The Weatherman not pointing at the Bloodhound. We've got the tailor and a doppelganger. I like that. There's the scoundrel. There's the youngster. And a private eye that's a little too late in the game. Well, let's see if the scoundrel will out the the poisoner over here that can't even poison. I mean, yeah, I think that's all she wrote, huh? Yeah, that's our poisoner. That's our scoundrel. Let's move on to our final case, which does not give us another quirk. Interestingly, so just from I don't know if sometimes you get even more quirks. It did look like when we started a new game, there was room for even harder versions of the game where you get even more quirks. And I think in order to add all of the quirks to your found list, you do need to win with every single quirk. That makes a lot of sense to me. I think that is actually a really cool way to add sort of achievements or progression into the game, sort of like super auto pets, right? You have to win with every single pet. Well, in Dupery, you have to win with every single quirk at least once if you want that full 100% achievement. But the other thing I was getting to is if you get a new quirk at every single case past the first 2 or 3, it actually really punishes you for picking those easy cases early on, because then you could potentially face more quirked cases later. This does not seem to add any quirks to the final case though, so we are just working with the wife quirk, which is not relevant, and insider loyalty, which could actually be quite relevant. It means that we do have to give a second thought to arresting rolls on the inside of the board. Edge of the board is fine. It's really just these 4. Okay, that's not that big of a deal. I will also say there are 3 new roles on this suspects list. We have the chatterbox. When investigated, an extra 2 hours pass. Oh, that's funny. If at least one evil role is in the same row as me, an additional extra hour passes. Ooh, okay. This actually seems like an innocent role. This adds some really good information. It's like a clockmaker, basically, if you're paying enough attention. Now, yeah, there are some roles that interact with time, of course. The surgeon, the milkman, that's why it's kind of bad. But honestly, it seems fine. Barkeep, mobster, specter, and then also the preacher. An extra traitor, is suspected. When I'm arrested, I reveal as a not in play traitor and pretend to be a suspected role. Huh. Oh, I lie and pretend. I missed the period there. Okay, so when you arrest the preacher, they will pretend to be the judge or the critic. I don't know that the preacher has actually added an extra traitor, because every other time we've made it to the finals, we've seen 2 traitors here. So I think we don't actually have the preacher just yet, but we could have the judge. Every time you investigate a role, I may bang my gavel. If you do not arrest a role immediately, I will destroy your reputation. I will never bang my gavel before the 10th hour. Cool. All right. So the judge basically says, make a decision, punk. Bloodhound pointing east. That's bad. That is bad info, buddy. How could this bloodhound have bad info? They could be the drunk puppy. Therapist saying 1 evil client. Clockmaker, 16 to 17. The judge is about to come into play. I love 10. That looks good to me. We're going to start here. Stalker could be our second meddler. We have 3 meddlers. Holy moly. Okay. I still don't fully understand the stalker. Pick a surrounding neighbor. I pretend to be their appearance. I might kill them. If they are tainted, I always kill them. The clock is ringing. Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is not good. The clock is ringing before the clockmaker thought it would. Now, the clockmaker could be the drunk. But this could also be our evil team. The therapist says that they have 1 client. Skeptic says I can't be trusted. Wait. If your reputation status is poor, I lose faith in you. I'm good, buddy. I'm excellent, actually. Is there anything making my bloodhound just went off for a second there? Somebody came to the door and it might take a second to get back in the zone. I believe what I was currently investigating is the idea that I can't be trusted. Now, there are some roles that do change your reputation. Others treat your reputation status as poor. That's what it was. It's the critic. So we do, in fact, have a critic then. We can confirm that right here. No judge. Yes, critic. Yes, critic. Okay. We also have 3 meddlers. So this skeptic saying that I can't be trusted, well, okay, we could actually have a judge and this skeptic is lying, but for right now, I'm going to trust this skeptic. I believe that, yes. Okay, so this clockmaker, sorry, I'm refreshing my brain right now as I had to step away. I've calculated the number 29. That's a pretty big number. But you could get the number 29 from, say, 10, 11, and 8. Oh, just when I thought I was out, they pull me right back in here. 10, 11, and 8 would make... Oh, wait, no, it's even more than that. There's 4 evils here. Wow. Okay. I love 1. The wives are in a double claim. One of them, we do need a double claim if we have a mobster somewhere. 13 to 14, was that right? Oh, I don't remember at this point, especially because we found another clockmaker. I really do not remember. Luckily, I am recording, so I could go back and check that. And then we have our 3rd outcast. That will also increase the mathematician number. Ugh. I do think that this mathematician is probably right. So then what do we have? We have 10, 11, it's 21, 24. Speaking of 24, it is our 24 right now. So that milkman gotta go. 24 plus 6. It seems like this mathematician number is actually too tiny. Because how is this bloodhound getting bad info? Oh, this bloodhound could be the barkeep's drunk. What else does this do? Oh, you lose twice as much reputation. Well, you know what? The judge never banged their gavel. I do trust the skeptic here then. The stalker says, pick a surrounding neighbor. I might kill them. If they are tainted, I always kill them. I love 8. I like that they killed the wife. I'm sorry. That wife looked no good to me because they were talking about a clockmaker that also looked no good to me. We could potentially have a barkeep somewhere. But I'm going to get rid of this. That's our mobster. That means that this clockmaker, probably good. Probably actually definitely good, right? I think we've got 2 of our evils. We don't have to worry about the milkman, but we do have to worry about the fall guy. Hold on. So this therapist does have 1 evil client. So this therapist, I think, was right. This is 24 plus 4 plus 1. Oh, it is 4 and 1 and 3 and 11 and 10. That makes the mathematician number work out. And we also need to find 2 more evils. So I think this is just it. I think that this is our critic and this tailor is our barkeep. I don't know where the drunk was. Maybe it was this. I don't know where the drunkard was from the barkeep. Oh, we can reveal all. I turned number 6 into a drunkard. Oh, yes, yes. Right, we said that that was our drunkard. I just forgot about it. The preacher pretended to be a wife and made it look like there could have been a judge. We never really got to see the preacher in action because we stalker killed them and solved it with the mathematician number. Okay, so there is just a little bit more out of Dupery. I think that there is still a lot left to discover. We have once again completed the demo, and now we've unlocked Quirk Challenge 2. So if we head back to the menu to make our way onto Quirk Challenge 2, we can also see that there's possibly room right here for a 3rd Quirk Challenge after we defeat Quirk Challenge 2, probably, but I do want to take a look at Quirk Challenge 2 in this video as well. We didn't look at that many quirks so far, so let's see if we can get a little quirkier here, and 13 and 14% really aren't that much. So let's go for a hard case here to kick things off, and we have a new role here, the accountant. I think that's the only role that I don't recognize. Yeah, the accountant says, while I am not dead or arrested, abilities that ask you to select roles will now select roles 1 address along from your selections. I lie and pretend to be a suspected role. So I think that that means if we have a vigilante or a tailor, we have to wait to use them until after we have arrested the accountant, because the accountant will make us pick the wrong things. I think that's what it's saying. Abilities that ask you to select roles. Yeah, I think that's what we're looking at here. We also have, and we might not even have an accountant, so that adds some mystery to it all as well. Spectre, Scoundrel. Is this the one that is just face up? Yeah, and then the Con Man, which will double claim. Copycat will also double claim, or we have a Youngster. Let's get into it. The clock tower ringing at 2 hours in. And then we do have a tailor that I won't be using. We have a Spectre Shrouded card, a Private Eye, which gives us information on hour 10, a Vigilante, which we also can't use, a Bloodhound pointing in this direction. The Private Eye saying that 1 is an underling, which is a mathematician that has calculated the number 15. 15 is possible, 4 plus 5 plus 6. Okay. The Gossip. I heard that a strange guy in town has 4 neighbors. Okay, that is pointing specifically at the Bloodhound or the Spectre Shrouded card in seat 8. I don't think anything else has 4 neighbors. No, this has 4 neighbors. Okay. Then we find our Youngster, so that implies no Copycat. But then we do find a Copycat. A mathematician giving me the exact same number, I do think means I'm going to start by arresting this Youngster. That was wrong. How is that wrong? That means that, oh, this is the con man, not the mobster. Shoot. Okay, well, this has 3 neighbors. This has 2 neighbors. I have to use the vigilante on the mathematician, but before I can use the vigilante, I have to potentially arrest the accountant because there is no Spectre. Wait, will it always use exactly one off? You could like point here. I missed number 4. Oh, so there is no accountant. Bummer. I don't think that this is solvable. Let's just arrest people at random. Oh, wow. This is our specter shrouded scoundrel because we could not arrest it. So let's mark this with a red marking here. We know that this gossip is good. So somebody that has 4 things has to be a faker. And the people that have 4 things are this youngster, this private eye, oh, and this. This has 4, which means that this gossip is always good. So if this bloodhound is pointing east, they're pointing at the private eye, which could mean it's the private eye and this mathematician. Let's see if these 2 are on the same team. They're not on the same team, which means that this is good, which means that this is bad. And now we have 1 plus 8. And in order to get to 15, oh, it has to be the vigilante. Okay. And now we can arrest the scoundrel. I was ready to give up on that one because we had so little information, but we were able to get it done. This is going to be tough to get back into now, though, with poor reputation to start off with. Maybe I should go for like a middle of the road here. A normal case will put me up to 40, so it keeps me on like a relatively good pace. I'm not sure, but it seems like there's a chance that I did select a hard case, but it could be that like in Quirk Challenge 2, things are also just harder, just a step up. This case has both a mobster and a scoundrel. I also made a mistake with thinking the con man was a mobster, so that's on me as well. But now we definitely do have a mobster this go round, and then we also have a surgeon or a fall guy. Those will both be face up though. Point south, mathematician 14. The surgeon killed the tailor before we could use it. I've heard a strange guy in town has 0 neighbors. That is pointing specifically at seat 8, and that would be 7 and 8. Oh, this would certainly be the mobster, right? Oh yeah, it's 7 and 8. Okay. Easy peasy. That was simple enough. And we get back some reputation, and we find ourselves with some quirks. Faulty clock. Time on the clock is always offset by a value between -2 and 2. Huh. That is really interesting. It doesn't seem super difficult, but it could be depending on what roles you wind up encountering. When someone dies, if your reputation is not poor, lose 1 reputation. Okay. I don't know if that will kill you from good, but I think it just makes you lose extra reputation if you're like at the top of the game. I don't love that though. I also kind of like the idea of now using easy to farm up some reputation as we earn our way back to 100%, but at the same time, if I have to complete 3 more cases, that will also get me to 100%, so that's a reasonable way to do it as well. The surgeon will always kill. I thought the surgeon did always kill. Well, this seems easy enough as far as the quirks go. We'll see how easy the actual case is. There is no surgeon here, so I don't have to worry about that quirk just yet. We've got a con man, an accountant, and a spectre. Okay. Therapist says 0 evil clients. That could just be real. The skeptic saying 10 is evil. Huh. That is tricky. I think that means we found our drunkard. Because with the skeptic pointing at the therapist, but the therapist not pointing back, that could only happen if one of them is drunk. It could be that this is the drunk and this is evil. Or it could be that this is simply the drunk. But, wait, what did I say? This is the drunk and this is evil? But I think this therapist is always good. If they're saying that they have 0 evil clients and they're pointing at someone, pointing back at them. I am the priest is also always good. And the private eye. Oh, the private eye has not been able to act yet. The clock tower is dinging at hour 8. And the chatterbox. Oh, chatterbox is potentially new to me. I've probably seen it, but I forget it. When investigated, an extra 2 hours pass. If at least one evil roll is in the same row as me, an additional extra hour passes. That did happen because we now have an odd hour. So let's do this. Let's mark this as good, and let's mark this as something happened. Basically, oh, it's the fall guy. The fall guy triggered the chatterbox. Okay, use. I have 0 evil clients, says the therapist. One of these two does have to be a con man. Oh, the con man could tell the truth, and the skeptic could be good now, actually just pointing at them, and this is the con man. I now kind of believe that. Wait, does therapist say adjacent, not surrounding? Okay, this therapist is clearing the vigilante. That seems reasonable. Bloodhound pointing east towards the vigilante. And then we also have a specter. So I don't think that we have an accountant, because I do believe that we have a con man, and I do believe that we have a specter, of course. But we do have a drunk. We do have a drunkard. It could be this. I don't know what this is saying. I am the priest. I'm not sure what this is saying here. One is an underling, is what this private eye says. This could be our drunkard, or this could be our drunkard. Let's use the vigilante to fire at the... Oh, actually, let's use it to fire at the con man. I missed. I missed number 10. Now, the bloodhound could also be pointing at the therapist. So the bloodhound does seem reasonably likely. Let's arrest the therapist then. I don't think that we lost reputation, so I think that this was the con man, and when arrested, I'm not revealed, but who cares? Now, why is this skeptic saying that this therapist is evil? Well, between the skeptic and the private eye, one of them has to be the drunkard, but this therapist has to be good, so I think that this skeptic is simply the drunkard because this therapist sees 0 evil, which means this private eye and this card in seat 1 are both kind of pointing at each other, even though this is not saying anything. Let me take a look at the bloodhound. I announce the direction of the nearest evil roll. If 2 or more are the same, I start barking. This bloodhound pointing east at this therapist means that it's probably just this private eye, which is the specter. What was this? This was a private eye. Okay. Easy enough. That was a hard puzzle too, right? Yeah, 63%, putting us back into good reputation. Now we could afford to do one of these two 16%ers, and we already have the insider loyalty quirk. So I'd rather try to figure out some new quirks, right? Even if I am kind of going for like the least intrusive ones to give me the best shot at a completed run. We have outsider loyalty, sure, that's different technically. And we also have anti-authoritarianism. If your reputation is not excellent, two innocent roles become tainted if possible. That is crazy. No way. No way. Let's go for outsider loyalty. We will lose extra reputation if we arrest a good roll that is on the edge of the board. Oh, I hope I didn't mix that up and this is actually the one that I've done. Who cares though? We've got a mobster and a poisoner, and then either a stalker, milkman, or fall guy. Bloodhound sniffing. So Bloodhound either poisoned or 4 and 5 are good. Does point at 4 being good for sure. We've got a tailor there. Again, this could be the poisoner. We'll see if the clock does indeed tick. We also have a bloodhound pointing at that clockmaker. But this one's probably the mobster, right? Then we've got the milkman. This clockmaker's good, which means this bloodhound is a baddie, and I will be arresting them unless we can prove that one of these is the poisoner. Seems less likely though. Weatherman says 2, 3, 6. I like it. I like that a lot. What else do we have here? A second tailor. Okay. Well, I trust the milkman. Between these two tailors, we have an evil. Between these two bloodhounds, we have an evil. So let's use this tailor to say, what do you think between these two bloodhounds? Not the same alignment. So you're the good one. This tailor is bad. So what does this tailor think about these two? You gonna tell me they are the same alignment? Yeah, okay, that's because you are lying, you are the poisoner, and you are lying, you are the mobster. Bang on. Some easy solves here. And now if we do this one and we ace it, we will be on to the final case, but we would have to do exactly this case. Visible justice. If your reputation is poor, arresting a traitor increases your reputation by 1. Oh, that is totally fine. That is totally fine. The wife becomes evil if the mistress is in play. The partner is more likely to announce the address of an underling role. Let's go for this. Let's go for Brooke. We're going for some visible justice here. We also have a new role. We have not actually played with the judge, so this is kind of a new role. Oh, I already read it in this video. Maybe I should read it for myself. This is the next day, by the way, or maybe it's like 2 days later. I don't remember. Every time you investigate a role, I may bang my gavel. If you do not arrest a role immediately, I will destroy your reputation. I will never bang my gavel before the 10th hour. I lie and pretend to be a not in play role. Wow. Okay. The Kingpin says 1 innocent surrounding neighbor becomes evil. 1 innocent surrounding neighbor becomes tainted. I lie and pretend to be a suspected not in play role. Jeez. Okay, I really hope the Kingpin is not just smack dab in the center. We've actually started by finding our fall guy. There are 3 meddlers and 2 underlings as well in all of this madness. All right, well, we definitely have the Spectre. I guess that's helpful. Mathematician. The number 26. What 3 numbers could you add to get 26? 7, 9, 10. Oh, plus the fall guy's 4. What 3 numbers can you add to make 22? 10, 9, 3. 10, 6, 8. Any that doesn't include 10, 9, 8. Not sure. 9, 8 is 17 plus 7. Okay. Does seem like a pretty high concentration of things. If we trust this mathematician, we probably also trust number 1, which is a doppelganger. Pick a role with an ability. If the selected role is lying or tainted, I announce something does not make sense. Otherwise, I pretend to be their appearance. Well, I would really like to confirm this math number. Oh, it has to be a role with an activate ability. We need to find specifically a vigilante. or the stalker. Don't love that. But we found a vigilante, so I guess we'll do it. And we have a second vigilante. Huh. So now I have to trust both of these vigilantes. That's pretty good. You know, I've never tried to use the vigilante on the fall guy, but I don't think I need to. I think these vigilantes are confirmed. 1, 4, 9. That would mean that 9 is a meddler. It is. Ooh. Let's break out the pins again. What do you say? 1. Oh, I need the string. 1, 4, 9. Looks good to me for the weatherman's information. Because the fall guy is registering as the bad one. Again, weatherman finds 1 of each category, more or less. So right now, I mean, wait, how are we getting up to 26 then? 10 plus 8 plus 7 plus 4 is too much. Huh, starting to not trust this mathematician then. We have to make an arrest. I'm going to arrest the mathematician. Oh, bummer, bummer. The mathematician is real. They're not the drunkard, I don't think, which just makes them right. I potentially could have arrested the underling on the private eye. I think that also would have been wrong. Because in order to get to 26, I do feel like I might need... Oh, is it this? It's 5, 7, 10, and 4. I missed 5 because it wasn't flipped over. Let's go for this. Let's go for this. And let's go for this. The kingpin. Nice. I hit the kingpin, so I actually did heal up a reputation because I kind of just like made a mistake there, to be totally honest. But now I've got good reputation. Oh, and we do have a surgeon in our final case. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to crack this. The surgeon will always kill. If I arrest someone that is on the edge of the board, I lose a bonus reputation. That's why I went down to poor with that arrest of the mathematician. But, I don't think I actually got this. Maybe I was at straight 0, and now I am back here. But I need to... Oh my gosh, look what they did. Look at those dirty dogs. They gave me only outside of the board characters. So if I arrest someone incorrectly, I am toast. Okay. We either have a judge or a critic. The fact that we could have a critic in a game... Oh, the critic is not the one that I thought it was. I was thinking of the other one that we've seen a few times. Okay, we've potentially got a judge, and then we also have bounty hunter. Do I know this? I pick and taint an innocent role. I announce 3 addresses, one of which is my target. So we've got 1 traitor, 2 underlings, and 2 meddlers, leaving us with just 4 innocents, and most of those innocents, like one of those innocents is going to be tainted potentially. One's going to die to the surgeon. One could be spectered. Oy vey. And one could be changed by the accountant. The judge lives in town. I've never heard of the accountant. Interesting for the mailman to give us information about these cloaked roles. We will know about the judge. We could also learn about the accountant in a way that is somewhat confirmable. Now, this is bad information. This is just straight up bogus because nobody in town has 3 neighbors. I'm sorry. 4 and 6 have 3 neighbors. Okay. So the gossip is pointing specifically at both 4 or 6. 4 is a mailman saying the weatherman lives in town, but not the tailor. And here's the weatherman. 2, 3, 7. Let's break out the string, huh? 2, 3, 7 is our weather. Report today. Private Eye says 9 is an underling, and the judge is ready to go. The mailman saying the judge lives in town makes me trust the mailman in seat 8, which makes me not trust the mailman in seat 4. There is no reason. There's no copycat. I'm going to arrest the mailman in seat 4. This could end the run right here. That is the Spectre. We passed the judge's test. That means that there either is no weatherman or there actually is a tailor. The weatherman, or mailman rather, gives you 2 statements, and at least one of them is a lie, but not necessarily both of them, if the mailman is corrupted or lying. We've got a youngster. We do need to find some meddlers at some point. We have a tailor. So it could just be that both the weatherman and the tailor are real. That's also possible. The judge is back. Every time you investigate a role, I may bang my gavel. Oh, goodness gracious. That is not what I expected. Oh, gosh. All right. So I'm expecting that this is our scoundrel, and I cannot arrest this scoundrel unless they are the last evil. So I need to find the judge right here. The judge saying there's no accountant. What is the accountant? Oh, it's just a minion that we straight up don't have. Right. Can I use the tailor's ability? What will the judge do? I will destroy your reputation. You know what? I might rather my reputation get destroyed here. Otherwise, I make an arrest and I could just be wrong. I will try to solve here. Ooh, 9 being an underling is wrong. Oh, I might have found out the judge here, because we don't need to find an underling. I have found the 2 underlings. Oh, unless this is the wannabe, or this is the wannabe. Oh, gosh. All right. All of that is very possible. I think I'm going to ignore the judge's orders here and simply use the tailor and see what happens. I think I'm just going to let my reputation get destroyed. The scoundrel does not lie. So we know that this is wrong. Let's see if these are both on the same team and if the judge lets me do that. The same alignment. I think I'm going to arrest this. I think this is going to be like the surgeon. I'm a little bit nervous it could be the bounty hunter. Let's see what happens if we ignore the judge. I'm fired! No! Oh, that's a bummer. This card was just spectered anyways, so I don't learn anything, and this was probably the judge. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, so these 2 were flip-flopped, so I would have potentially made that mistake anyways, because yeah, we either needed to have a wannabe or we needed to have a surgeon or a bounty hunter, which we didn't have. But I didn't know that the judge destroying your reputation just meant like, no, you're done. We had to learn it sometime. It's an unfortunate time to learn it at the end of a run here, because I think we actually could have cleared this. We would have arrested this, and then I think I would have figured out the wannabe that this was a 50-50, and it would have just been a guess, right, at that point. But I might have earned enough reputation by arresting the judge to make both of these arrests, actually, even with the outsider loyalty. Who knows? No way to know at this point. But unfortunately, that is going to be it for me. And in the next one, we will retry the Quirk Challenge 2, and if we succeed, we will also take a look at Quirk Challenge 3. But for today, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.